welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well today. In this video, I'm going to be testing out the real DYSON Airwrap, which I feel like is the hair tool of the year. Now, this hair tool is very good. I do own it myself, but it is an excessive £400. And we're going to be testing this bad boy versus the DUPE, which I found on Amazon for £30. I've been seeing this tool in particular circling around the internet recently, especially on TikTok. I've been seeing so many ads for it. Now, naturally, because the DUPE was only £30, I felt like it was wrong not to get it. I think it's for the greater good of humanity that I test this out for you guys, and we'll see if we can get the results that the expensive DYSON Airwrap can give you, but for like a fraction of the price. Also, I just want to mention that I have seen my friend Soph from Soph Does Live here on YouTube do this video very recently. I feel like we must have ordered it around the same time. I have actually watched her video, and I've got to say I'm a little bit nervous about trying the DUPE, but I'm gonna go into this with an open mind. So if you guys want to see what her opinion was on this DUPE, I will link it in the description. If you guys are new here and you guys haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Roxy, welcome to my channel. If you guys want to stick around, be sure to subscribe down below. But I guess it's now time to go wash my hair so we can test both of these out on separate sides of my hair. So without further ado, let's get on into the video. Okay guys, I'm back. I've just washed my hair and it is very wet. I've just brushed it through and got rid of any knots, and it is time to put these bad boys to the test. So I think on my left side, I'm going to be using the authentic DYSON Airwrap, which looks like this. It comes in a nifty little set. So in here, you of course get the hairdryer, which looks like this. You also get a bunch of attachments, such as these brushes. To be honest, I don't really know the difference between them, but I use them both just to kind of get my hair nice and straight. It then comes with one of these, and then of course, it also comes with 4 of the curling barrels. So we have 2 big ones, and then the slightly like thinner, slender one. Now, when I was watching Soph's video, she actually had like long barrels, which I think is such a good idea. I didn't even know they existed, but the ones that come in the set with the Dyson are quite like short. So if you have long hair like me, I mean, it's a little bit of a struggle sometimes to use these. So I may actually have to invest in the longer barrels just to make my life a little bit easier. I'm gonna ask for them for my birthday in 2 weeks. So the complete DYSON Airwrap set is worth £450 from John Lewis, which I feel like is definitely very, very expensive. But I mean, if you're using heat a lot on your hair, it is really good. I used to never want to curl my hair because I was so worried that it would damage my hair and just become really like dry and fried. Whereas with these, I mean, you're curling your hair whilst drying it at the same time, and it just doesn't apply anywhere near as much heat as, you know, a hair curling wand would. So that's why I do really love my DYSON Airwrap. But when I found this bad boy, I was very intrigued because this is a hot air styler. It's called the 5-in-1, and it basically is a copy of the Dyson. I don't know how these brands can get away with this because this is literally plagiarism. Here is what we have inside. Now, as I said, this one cost £30 off of Amazon, and I mean, it's definitely not as like premium looking as the Dyson, but the actual design and the like color scheme and the parts look very similar. So here is the actual body of their hairdryer, which looks like this. I mean, let's just quickly compare. So this is the original Dyson and this is the DUPE. I mean, at a first glance, they look so similar. Okay, we then have the hairdrying attachment, and I mean, she looks familiar. Okay, let's just pop her in. Oh my God. It's not attaching. Oh my God, what's going on? Oh, okay. So you have to put it in and then let it click. So comparing the 2 heads, I mean, this one is definitely a lot smaller, but visually they look so similar. Now, next up we have the brush head attachment. Now in this set, there's only one of these, and I would say that the most like relevant one to this one would be this, just because the other head has like little bobbles on the end. So I would say this one is the most similar to this. I mean, looks wise and size wise, they are completely different. This is a lot more narrow, and the actual head does not move, whereas on this one, it kind of has like a little bit of movement. Next up, we have the round brush attachment, and this is it compared to the original. So again, looks wise, they look completely different. The bristles on this one have little bobbles on the end of them, whereas this one is just like spiky but no bubbles. What are these actually called? I have no idea. They're just like little balls on the end of it. I actually have no idea what these little bubbles are for on brushes like this. If any of you guys have any idea, let me know in the comments, but this one has none of those. And then lastly, we have the actual curling attachments, which I am the most excited about trying. This is what they look like from the Amazon set. I would say compared to the original Dyson, they are probably most like the more slender one. I mean, size-wise, they look pretty much identical. They're even the same width. Okay, let's test them both out. I'm just gonna split my hair into 2 sections. Okay, so first up, I'm gonna use my actual Dyson Airwrap just to dry my roots on my left side. So let's do this. I find that with the real Dyson Airwrap hairdryer attachment, I can dry my hair in pretty much like 10 minutes. It is so easy and so quick. Okay, so my roots are pretty much dry now. That is crazy. It literally took me like less than 2 minutes to do that. So let's see if this 30 pounds hairdryer can actually match that. Okay, so looking up close at the bodies of the hairdryers, the main difference I notice is the fact that the Dyson has way more like heat settings. The Dyson actually has 2 heat settings and 1 cool setting. It also has 3 different fan modes, and also it has the function to be able to blast cool air just by holding this button up. That setting is for when you're actually setting your curls before you release them. Whereas on the Dupe, you only have 3 heat settings, which I'm pretty sure are just the speed at which the hot air comes out. So let's just see what this can do. I'm gonna go straight into the 3rd setting, which is the most intense. Okay, I have to say, this is pretty powerful, but instantly when I turn this on, all I can smell is melting plastic. Yeah, that's kind of concerning. I mean, I think I'm gonna set this to like the 2nd heat option. Okay, so I would say my roots are pretty much dry or near enough dry, and that didn't actually take as long as I thought it would with this one. To be honest, as a hairdryer, it's not a bad product, but I do have to say this attachment is now very, very hot. I've literally just put this down on my thigh to talk to you guys, and it is like started to burn my legs, so definitely be careful with this one. As a hairdryer though, I do have to say there's nothing really wrong with it. It does the job. It was quite powerful, and I mean, the heat setting is fine. As for the smell, it doesn't smell as bad anymore. I feel like that moment has passed. It was just like that initial when you turned it on. It just smelled like burning plastic. Okay, so I guess the next attachment we're gonna try is this one here, which is the like bristle kind of straightening brush. I use this quite a lot because although my hair is pretty much pin straight, I do kind of get like a little bit of wave on the underside and like these little bits framing my face. So I usually just brush this through my hair a few times, and I find that it pretty much just straightens out any kinks. So I'm gonna do this side again first, and then we'll move on to the other. Also, I find that this particular attachment really helps with smoothing out any lumps or bumps in your hair. For example, if you have a cowslick or you have like a crown that just doesn't really want to cooperate, which I personally do have a crown right here, and all the hair always kind of like goes in the wrong direction. So this attachment really helps to kind of flatten it down initially. So that is this side finished. I'm obsessed with the look that this gives. It just gives like a really nice polished, smooth look. Okay, so let's compare it to the Dupe side. I'm gonna take this off. It has cooled down, but it still is a little bit hot. Okay, let's use this attachment now. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that is that side done. I actually feel like that's done a really good job. I'm not gonna lie, I can't really see the difference between the 2 sides. Can you guys? The only thing I would say that was different is just like the experience of using it. I mean, it's not like this tangled my hair or anything like that, but it just wasn't as nice feeling as I was brushing it through my hair like the Dyson did. I guess it's all in the movement of these little bristles. Obviously the Dyson has that movement, whereas this is just like a normal brush. But visually, it has given me literally the same look. So far I'm kind of impressed. Okay, next up I'm going to be using the Dyson round brush attachment. So I usually use this to kind of like flick out my fringe a little bit. The pieces framing my face have definitely grown out quite a bit, but I'm going to try and do that like flicky, low maintenance blow dry kind of look. So I guess let's just give it a go. My hair has gotten so long that I can't even fit it like in the shot, so I'm gonna have to move back a little bit. Okay, Okay, so I finished doing the flicky bits. I don't actually have many layers in my hair, so it's kind of hard to like actually showcase this, but I mean, this is the kind of like flick that the Dyson can create. Also, I have this one here framing my face. I feel like this attachment is definitely more for people that have like layers. Now let's try the dupe side. So this is the brush. Let's just do exactly the same thing. Okay, so I feel like the dupe side isn't actually as good at creating the flick. Maybe that's just me, but I mean, I don't think that looks as good as the Dyson side personally. Let's try and do the ends as well though. I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting a little bit worried because this tool is started to make like vibrating sounds within the body of it. I thought something happened to my ear and I was just hearing things, but then I realized this is literally making like vibrating sounds. Okay, I mean, the ends are looking a lot better. I feel like the flick is working. I don't know why it wasn't working on the bits framing my face, but there we go. Okay, we have now arrived at the part of the video I am looking forward to the most, and I'm sure you guys are as well, and that is trying the actual curling barrels. I feel like that is literally the selling point of the Dyson, the fact that it uses air to wrap your hair around itself. I just think it's such a cool invention, and I'm sure it was so hard to like develop, but if this does the same job, I'm gonna be shook. Okay, so the way I use my Dyson isn't to like section off my hair or anything fancy like that. I literally just grab it in like rows. I don't even section off the top and bottom. I just find that it looks the most natural for me and it's just way quicker to do it that way. So if you guys are not familiar with the Dyson, I'm just gonna demonstrate real quick on this chunk of my hair first. So you wanna grab the one that's like facing away from your face and attach that to your Dyson. You wanna just turn it on and then let it do its magic. And then release. I kind of like to hold it up a little bit before I let it go. And then that is the effect you get. I just think this creates the cutest curls, and I actually really like how the smaller barrel achieves like way tighter curls. So yeah, that's the Dyson curl. It just does what it says on the tin. I love it. Okay, so those are all of my curls finished on the Dyson side. I might just go over this bit at the end, but I mean, that is looking pretty good considering I haven't pinned them or anything like that. So before I brush these out, I'm just gonna move on and do the other side, which I'm so excited about. Okay, first up, I'm just gonna take the small section of hair by my face just to initially try it out. I'm super nervous. I really hope this works. Okay, moment of truth. Let's turn her on. It works. Hang on. Oh my god. It's actually working. Hang on, I need to talk because this is probably really loud, but it's actually working. It's wrapping the hair around the barrel, but it's just very loose. Okay, I've noticed it's blowing the hair up really high up the barrel, but let's see if it's done anything. Oh my god. Oh my actual god, it works. Okay, I have to say the curl does not have as much integrity as this side, but it works. I feel like if you just spray the ish out of this, it's probably gonna be fine. I'm gonna take the same width of hair as I did on the other side to really give it a fair test. Let's do this. Okay, that is the next curl. I have to say, it's pretty good if you're not comparing it to the Dyson. There's something about the Dyson that's making the curls quite tight and like really defined, whereas this is a lot looser. I have noticed that on longer strands of hair, this is definitely needing a little bit of a helping hand to actually wrap around. I feel like that's just because the attachment, like the air just isn't strong enough even on the highest setting. It also could be the fact that I have super long hair and it's probably not the easiest to work with. So if you do have shorter hair, I feel like it would just be way easier. I mean, look at this. It like wants to curl around it, but it doesn't at the same time. I feel like I need to wrap the first bit around And then from there, it's pretty okay. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just curling it on like medium heat, and then right at the end, I blast it with like the super hot third setting. And this is how it's looking. And I mean, that's pretty good. It's getting an effect that's similar enough to not justify paying £400. And I mean, it's blowing my mind. I mean, that's not bad. Look at that curl. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's really hot. Okay, 3, 2, 1. That's nice. That is a solid curl. I was really worried because when I saw Soph's video, she was saying that this tool really like tangled her hair a lot, and I haven't really experienced that so far, so I feel like I'm pretty lucky. Okay, I feel like I jinxed it. That one did get a little bit tangled at the top, but this is what it looks like. I am noticing that the curls are dropping out quite rapidly, which I'm a little bit concerned about. I feel like you can already kind of see the difference. These are kind of like a little bit more floppy. They're like falling down already, whereas these are still pretty strong. I guess I'm just gonna finish off the rest of my hair and then I'll brush them out. Okay, that is the last curl. So that is what the Dyson dupe side looks like. What is happening with this one strand? I feel like I have to go back. Okay, so here are both the sides in comparison. I really wanted to show you guys what the curls actually looked like without pinning them up. I feel like we don't all have time to pin up the curls every time we do them. So this is pretty much like how I would actually style my hair before running out the door. So of course we have the Dyson side, which I feel like the curls are still pretty curly. I mean, they have dropped a little bit since I've done it, but on completely straight hair and without any holding product, that is still pretty impressive. Now, on the other hand, I feel like this side is still very volumized. It still has slight curls. However, they have definitely dropped out quite a lot. I'm pretty sure that if you put more effort into this side, such as pinning it up and also applying some product into the hair, it would definitely look a lot more like this. Okay, so before I brush both sides out, I'm just gonna spray some of this Mark Hill Curl Hold Spray. This is what I usually do when I style my hair with the Dyson. So I'm just gonna roughly spray that all throughout just to kind of give it a little bit of extra help. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, brushing the curls out. So what I usually do is I just hold my hair like this and I just kind of work from bottom up. I basically just really gently brush the curls. I don't want to go too ham because I don't want to obviously disrupt the curl and just make it really loose looking. But at the same time, I just want to achieve that like super nice wavy kind of look rather than like full on individual curls. Okay, so that is that side brushed out. I think it looks stunning. So let's do the same thing to the other side. So I'm just gently brushing through the curls, but they have actually fallen out quite a bit. I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed because the curls did look really good at the start, but I guess they just don't hold for as long as the Dyson ones. But I do feel like if you literally sprayed it with some hairspray straight after releasing it, it probably would be a lot longer lasting. Okay, so here is the direct comparison. The left side is the £400 Dyson and the right side is the £30 dupe. What are we thinking? I mean, I feel like this side is definitely way more defined. It still has like a lot of bounciness and curl. This side is a lot looser, but I mean, it still has a really nice amount of volume, so I'm not too bothered about it like dropping out really quick. To be honest, the main reason I use my Dyson is just to achieve like a little bit of volume and a slight wave. So I mean, for £30, I actually feel like this little bad boy has done a pretty good job. I mean, it's never gonna be as good as the Dyson side, clearly. I mean, it just has so much more like advanced technology inside the actual hairdryer. But I guess at the end of the day, that is exactly what you pay for and why this product is so pricey. So my final verdict is, at the end of the day, this side still looks pretty banging. So I mean, for £30, it is not a bad deal. If you really want to try a product like a Dyson, but you just don't want to break the bank, I mean, I would highly recommend getting this dupe. One last thing I want to say about the dupe is if you are considering purchasing something like it, I would just take into account that the heat on it is a lot stronger than the Dyson. Obviously, part of what's really appealing about the Dyson is the fact that it isn't as damaging on your hair because it doesn't get as hot. So that's just something to consider. But I mean, I like both sides. I think they both look great. So let me know what you guys think of these two products. Do you think the Dyson is worth the money, or would you rather try the £30 version? I honestly had so much fun trying out the dupe of the Dyson. I feel like it actually looks pretty good. I love my hair like this. I definitely need to curl my hair more. This is also a little bit of a bittersweet moment because I'm actually gonna be getting my hair done today as you're watching this video. So feast your eyes on the last video of my hair being just full solid brown. You guys will have to stay tuned on my Instagram reels to see what I'm gonna do with my hair. If you guys haven't subscribed already, please do come and join the dinosaur family. I would love to have you here. But that is all from me. I hope you guys are all well, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye! Mwah.